The new Charlotte Tilbury eyeshadow palette has had me just thinking about the brand and what I love from it. I really love a lot of the Charlotte Tilbury lip products, particularly the kissing formula. I have very dry lips, and as long as I have something moisturizing underneath them, these are some of my favorite lipsticks ever. I love them. I love them. So I'm going to go through those. I'm also going to go through one of the Hyaluronic Happikiss. It's more of one of those melting type balms. This is actually one of the only things I took with me into surgery this last December because we weren't allowed to have lip balm or even like deodorant or anything. And I knew my lips were going to be really dry afterward. I brought this and it made me feel a little happy when I was totally out of it in the recovery room. So there's a problem with lipstick swatches. Most lipsticks are sheer to some extent. And that means that when I put a lipstick on my lips, it's going to look slightly different than the color that it looks like on your lips. So what are we even trying to do with swatches? Because the one color that no lipstick is going to look like on our lips is this inside of my inner arm, because I've never met anybody whose lips are the same color as my inner arm. So what I do is I put down lip liners of different colors that are hopefully closer to either everybody's natural lip color or the color of lip liner that you put over your lips, so we get a little bit closer to the color of your lips than the inside of my arm. I'm going to start with Pillow Talk Fair. And this is going to be for people who have lips that are light and cool toned. We're going to do Pillow Talk Original. And this is for people who have light but warm toned lips. Then I'm going to go to Pink Venus. This is if your lips are a little bit more pigmented and a little bit on the coral side. I wish my lips were that pigmented. Anywhere Caffeine. This is if you have more of kind of a neutral brown tone to your lips, or if this is the lip liner that you're using. Brown lip liners are quite common right now. Finally, I'm going to go in with Milani 110. A bit more of a red tone brown. This is JK Magic. It's from her Hot Lips 2 line. I love this. This feels magical to me. This makes me feel powerful. It's a power lipstick. It's a nude lipstick for me. This is one of the only lip products I can wear if I have nothing on my face. Like I've done no color correction, no foundation, no anything. There's something about the color of this where it's like it neutralizes the red in my face. Or if I wear something a little bit more pink or more red, then my face just looks more red and it looks weird for me to have lipstick on. This is just a magical nude lip for me. Beautiful. So you can probably tell that the kissing formula is quite opaque. That was only one swipe. And there is a bit of a difference. There is a bit of a difference between, going over Pillow Talk Fair versus Pillow Talk Original and the others. Now we have Dancefloor Princess. This is another one from the Hot Lips 2 line. And I have to say, I used to think I was somebody who didn't care anything for packaging, and I would get kind of annoyed that all of these brands were making us pay so much more money for packaging. And then I got these. This was my first Charlotte Tilbury lipstick. I still thought, oh, packaging isn't that big of a deal. Yes, I love this case. But then I got this. And even though this is pretty, there's something about it. It's a little lighter, it's a little different. This just feels so much more special to me, and I find myself reaching more for this. And I have to laugh at myself about this because who cares about the case? Well, apparently I do. So yeah, that's me finding out more about myself. Okay, Dancefloor Princess. This is a pink color. It's cooler. So when you're in the store, it may seem subtle, but JK Magic is actually deeper than Dancefloor Princess. Bitch perfect. This is another one that you may not be able to tell in store, but it's actually a fair bit. It's more orange and it's brighter than JK Magic. Let's do Pillow Talk Fair. I love Pillow Talk Fair. This is my favorite cool toned pink. Now we're going to do 90s Pink. 90s Pink is also cool tone like Pillow Talk, but it is quite a bit deeper. Has a bit more of a mauve, berry, purple. Let's do the Hyaluronic Happikiss in Pillow Talk. This is one that clicks up, but it doesn't click down. I'm going to build up the bottom part of that. So this is one that is fairly sheer, but you can build it up. And it is shinier than the kissing formula. And just so you can see, for the sake of comparison, I am going to compare this to one layer of Sitting Pretty by MAC. This is in the new Maximal Satin formula. All right, so what I did, because this is how I am, I took the picture of the swatches. I did some fun computer stuff. Here's all the swatches labeled. Each of the horizontal swatches are here, and it shows which lip liner it's over at the bottom. Let's just look at JK Magic. What I did is for each part here, so where JK Magic is over the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Fair, I found the exact color of that pixel in Hex. And then I went onto this online lipstick finder website and I found a lipstick that exactly matches that. If you are putting JK Magic over Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Fair, it's gonna look like Chanel Chestnut does in the tube. So it's kind of that brick red brown color. So if you have cool toned lips that are somewhat pigmented and along the same type of pigmentation as Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Fair, which is deeper. It's deeper than the lipstick. It's not quite berry, not quite gray, all right, but it's cool tone. Anyway, JK Magic over that has kind of this ruddy brown look to it. I did the same thing for when it's over original Pillow Talk. And JK Magic, if you have lightly pigmented warm tone lips, is gonna look like this Smashbox liquid lipstick color called Audition. And so it's not as deep as the other. It's a bit more kind of warm toned. We're getting a little bit more brown in there. Did the same thing. If you put JK Magic over Pink Venus, if you have warm coral lips that are a bit more pigmented than original Pillow Talk, then you're gonna get this Vanessa color of a NARS lipstick, which is it's a coral lipstick, kind of a muted coral, very pretty color. If you put JK Magic over Anywhere Caffeine, you get the same color as the Sephora liquid lipstick in Honey Glaze, which is more of this, we're starting to get into kind of a brownie peachy color, but still not as peach as JK Magic looks like in the tube. And finally, if you put JK Magic over Milani 101, so if you have kind of this a little bit more pigmented lips, then you get this Skin Deep color by Sephora. Yeah, so this is the shade that you might get depending on what your lip color is. You might get closer to this. And it also tells you, like, if you are here, but you wanted JK Magic to look a little bit more like this, then maybe you should fill in your lips with an Anywhere Caffeine or kind of a light brown lip liner. Or if you want it to look more like this light coral, then you can fill in your lips with Pink Venus or a coral lip liner, and it'll start to look closer to this color. And you can also change how it looks each day, right? If you want it to look a little bit more ruddy, not quite getting into the plummy side, then maybe you go for, a slightly mid-tone, cool toned pink lip liner one day. But if you want it to be more coral the next, then you do a coral lip liner. It's just so interesting to me that, this is JK Magic. This is what it looks like in the tube. And yet when you put it over different color lip liners that, are closer to real lip colors, none of these colors are like this. None of this peachy color. I guess putting it over the Milani color is the closest, but none of these are this color. So it's like if you look at the color of the lipstick in the tube, it's automatically like, that's not what it's gonna look like. Sure, if you build this up, then it'll start looking a little bit more like this color, but it's always gonna be, a little bit sheer, unless you're doing something like the Lisa Eldridge Insanely Saturated lipsticks, which are very close to being opaque. And also, as you wear them, a little bit's going to wear off and it's going to go to start looking like one of these, right? Because you're not going to be constantly applying your lipstick. I did the same thing with Dancefloor Princess, which is that light pink, kind of light warm pink lipstick. And here, we get some more reddish, not quite plummy colors over a cool tone lip. And then we start getting, a little bit more pink, but still warm pink as we go on the other lip liners. And there's a fair bit of variation. I did the same thing with Bitch Perfect, and here you really start to pull out a little bit more of the orange peachy color here that, frankly I would have expected from JK Magic, but that's over Anywhere Caffeine. And then Pillow Talk Fair, this is where we really start getting into the cool tone colors, and it looks surprisingly more berry than I expected, because to me, when I see this, I think Barbie pink, I think Dior pink. Really, depending on the lip liner, it's not quite that way. I have lightly pigmented cool tone lips, so mine, it is a little bit lighter on me, but still cool toned, still very pretty. And you do have some variation on what it's gonna look like. Okay, 90s pink. We're still cool tone now, but we're really getting into the more kind of plummy looks here. Over Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Fair, this was kind of the deepest berry color, and then you almost get to more of a sort of fuchsia color over Anywhere Caffeine, which is interesting. And then Pillow Talk Happikiss, this is when it was built up. I know when it was built up, I was surprised at how red it pulled, because I always think of it being more like this up here, more like the Pillow Talk shade. I don't think I've ever paired it with a coral or a brown lip liner. And so if you put it over any of these on the right, it really pulls out the red, which I thought was interesting. Okay, and here it is. I just kind of put it in a grid format here. So these are the lipsticks that I swatched, and these are the colors of the liner that I swatched them over. So here's kind of the deepest brown, a little bit of a kind of neutral brown, more of a warm coral, a light warm, and then light to mid-tone cool tone over here. And if you look at these, so JK Magic and Bitch Perfect really don't look all that different, but they are different. They have different effects. Those subtle effects surprisingly make a big difference. If you put it over light cool tone lips, Bitch Perfect pulls a little bit more red, but look over here. If you put them over Anywhere Caffeine, JK Magic kind of pulls straight up brown, whereas Bitch Perfect is more peach and lighter. But if you put them over Milani, it's almost the reverse of that. Bitch Perfect is more of a darker brown, whereas JK Magic becomes a lighter color, kind of a pinky brown color. I find that interesting that there really are subtle differences in these lipsticks, because sometimes, I don't know about you, but I've been standing like in Sephora or Ulta and I'm looking down at all the lipsticks and I'm like, how, like, these are all like pink or different colors of pink. Like, do I really need to get different ones? Do they really look any different? And yeah, in my swatches, they do look different. I'll admit that there have been a couple times where like I used JK Magic in the morning and then I threw Bitch Perfect in my bag and just kind of switched from one to the other. And that might work for more of a cool tone lip. But if you have like a more of a brown tone lip, then maybe that's not what you want to do, because it might be a fairly different look. And over coral lips, JK Magic pulls kind of like a light pink, whereas Bitch Perfect really is more of that orangey warm tone color. Dancefloor Princess is pinkier than all of them. But if you put it over Anywhere Caffeine, it's gonna pull brown, like beige brown. And so if you have that problem, you're like, oh my goodness, this looks like such a nice light pink. Why do I put it on my lips and it's just straight up like beige brown? Well, maybe try filling in your entire lip with a coral lip liner and then just do something like, I don't know, Pillow Talk Original or Anywhere Caffeine or something like that around just the outer line of your lip. And then the inner part of your lip might be more of this color if that's more of what you were originally going for. And Pillow Talk Fair, it's all cool tone. It's interesting to me that really can go more of like the brown side all the way to like Barbie type fuchsia pink over to more of a almost purple. 90s pink was definitely the deepest. You go from plummy to, if you put it over like Milani 110, it's gonna pull out the red a little bit more. And with Pillow Talk Happikiss, if you have more pigmented lips and there's more of like a brownie or warm tone color, it's really gonna pull out the red if you build it up. So I was surprised by that. Anyway, I had fun doing swatches this way. Let me know in the comments, does this help you out? Do you like seeing this type of swatch? The whole point of this is to give you a better idea of what the lipstick will look like on your lips as opposed to my lips or my arm. So if you think this is helpful or will help you choose between different shades or help you see how to modify shades, just let me know because this is really fun for me. And there we have it. Hopefully this will help you figure out if any of these products are right for you. It can be difficult in the store, under the store lights, to figure out which one is really good for you, which one's more opaque, which ones, are these two really different from each other? You might look at a bunch of different pinks and they all look pink and you're like, what is it? Well, a lot of them really do have different effects. And so hopefully this helps, where they'll show up differently on top of different lip colors or different lip liners. So this can also help you, like if your natural lip is closer to here, but instead of that color, you want it to be closer to here, maybe instead of getting a brand new lipstick in a different shade, you just pair it with a different lip liner that's a bit more brown or has a bit more brown red in it, or however you want to change it. Even though these are quite opaque, you can change the effect by the lip liner that you're using underneath. So I hope that this helps.